Face me, father. It is time to end this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Kratos went beast mode.
No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
I still have allies in Olympus, Ares. Now, you will see how strong I am.
For this list, we'll be looking at those times when the Ghost of Sparta went full God of War. We're issuing a spoiler alert, although we think it goes without saying that there will be blood. What do you think is the most brutal God of War moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Kratos vs. Hydra, God of War. What better way to introduce the Ghost of Sparta than by having Kratos skewer a massive mythological beast? The Hydra serves as the first showcase of God of War's penchant for cinematic action and larger-than-life bosses. More importantly, it also demonstrates that Kratos can get creative and brutal with his takedowns. The Hydra's massive size proves to be of little concern as Kratos violently cuts away at the beast, pinning the sea serpent's many heads to a broken-down ship. Kratos isn't even the God of War yet, but the Hydra still goes down while screeching in agony. Number 9. Kratos vs. Juggernaut / Elephantaur, God of War Ascension. As a prequel, Ascension swaps out Kratos' endless fiery rage for melancholy self-hatred, but the Spartan proves to still be more than capable of opening a can of gory whoop-ass. An enemy type that shows up sporadically throughout the game, the Juggernaut is basically a bipedal elephant, a species known for having rather big brains. In a violent death sequence, Kratos endlessly stabs at the monster's head before exposing its thinker for the whole world to see. Kratos reduces this tank to a mess and makes it seem easy in the process. Number 8. Kratos vs. Helios, God of War 3. By the time God of War 3 rolls around, Kratos is in a constant state of unbridled fury, and the Spartan takes it out on everyone. Injured and unable to even stand, Helios is reduced to bargaining and scheming in the presence of his executioner. Unfortunately for the god, Kratos is all out of mercy or pity. The Spartan literally tears Helios apart, an act that is vicious even by God of War 3 standards. This is Kratos at his most ferocious, a being that has been stripped down to nothing but vengeance, hatred, and the blood of his enemies. Number 7. Kratos vs. Kraken, God of War 2. Armed with tentacles and a mouth wide enough to swallow a car, the Kraken has Kratos on the ropes until the Spartan gets a power boost from Gaia in the form of the Rage of the Titans. Kratos then proceeds to dismantle the massive creature, leaving it short a few limbs and in a state of desperation. With the Rage of the Titans enabled, Kratos enters a superpowered mode that spells doom for anyone in his path, and the Kraken is no exception. When Kratos is in the mood, even a walkway can be turned into a weapon. Number 6. Kratos vs. Kronos, God of War 3.
Kratos, your death may not be a gentle one.
A bigger enemy just means a bigger target. On his quest to take down Zeus, Kratos heads to Tartarus to retrieve the Omphalos stone from Kronos, which happens to be in the Titan's stomach. Despite being chained up, Kronos is still the size of a mountain, so Kratos has to take a more strategic approach to this battle. From both inside and out, Kratos surgically dissects the Titan, leaving Kronos blubbering insults as he is brought to the brink of destruction by an ant. Size means little when Kratos is seeing red, and the Spartan's world is coated in blood throughout God of War 3. Number 5. Kratos and Atreus vs. Hræzlyr, God of War. 2018's God of War presents an older and more in-control Kratos who takes out enemies with vicious efficiency. The Hræzlyr boss fight is perhaps the most traditional God of War encounter in the game, as Kratos chips away at a mammoth beast before ending the battle with some good old-fashioned environmental damage. Here, Kratos' tactical mind comes into play, as he reads the situation and forms a plan using the tools at his disposal. The battle's final spot is basically God of War's equivalent of Kratos walking away from an explosion. Number 4. Kratos vs. Zeus, God of War 3.
This has nothing to do with her! It has everything to do with her! Put her down! As you wish.
Everything in the original trilogy leads up to this moment. Father versus son, Zeus versus Kratos. Kratos unleashes all his anger in a fight that goes through multiple stages, and the Spartan pays the king of Olympus back for every suffering he was made to endure. Kratos is in beast mode for most of this battle, but the bloody and sobering climax takes things up a notch as Zeus is reduced to a helpless punching bag. Throughout all of this, Kratos manages to finish off Gaia because the Spartans' rage even reduces Titans to collateral damage. Number 3. Kratos vs. the Stranger, aka Baldur, God of War.
My turn.
The 2018 game opens up in typical fashion with a multi-stage boss fight, but the big difference here is that Kratos' actions are driven by a desire to protect rather than to destroy. The Stranger arrives and goads Kratos into a punch fest, but the Spartan does not begin to go all out until Baldur directly threatens Atreus. Baldur's power and curse make it so Kratos has no choice but to become the person he was trying to leave behind, and the fight ends on a pretty harrowing, if not especially gory note. Number 2. Kratos vs. Ares, God of War.
You have no idea what a true monster is, Kratos.
That time, God of War took a page from the Kaiju playbook. The first game does a stellar job at setting up Ares as a power-hungry god who uses mortals as playthings, so it's incredibly satisfying when a mere Spartan proves to be the God of War's downfall. Empowered by Pandora's box and armed with the Blade of the Gods, Kratos transcends his limitations and brings Ares to his knees. While the Ghost of Sparta would get stronger as the series progressed, this battle represents Kratos at his larger-than-life best, serving as a sign of things to come.
I was trying to make you a great warrior.
You succeeded.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Kratos vs. the Troll, God of War. Because why use an axe when your bare hands can also get the job done? Kratos vs. Magni, God of War. Because threatening Atreus is a bad idea.
This is a much better knife than Mother's.
Kratos vs. Sisters of Fate, God of War 2. Because you don't have to be a primordial to see how this battle would end.
There is no power greater than the Sisters of Fate. If you challenge us, you will die.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kratos vs. Poseidon, God of War 3.
You have disrespected the gods for the last time, Kratos.
As the final march to Olympus' downfall begins, Poseidon is the first Greek god to clash with Kratos. The god of the sea proves to be a more than worthy fighter, but Poseidon eventually succumbs to Kratos' overwhelming wrath. After an epic fight, Kratos sends Poseidon into a mountain and then proceeds to beat him to death. Kratos is an anti-hero throughout the original trilogy, but the Spartan comes across as a terrifying monster during this sequence. The fact Poseidon's final moments are framed from the god's point of view only enhances Kratos' viciousness. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.